What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mel on Mars. I want to welcome you to my perspective of the wonderful worlds of music, athletics, relationship, and spirituality. Today is Wednesday, and every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, we release a relationship video. And today, we have the topic of interracial relationships. I have a lot to say about this, and I want to share it with you. Don't miss it. Next. Alright guys, so there's so many opinions about interracial dating, and it's either you could be on one side or the other. Either you hate it and totally against it, or you're totally for it. It's so many different perspectives that you can have, and I thought I'd just throw my 2 cents on it. But before I do that, let me share with you guys a couple stats. For many of you, you may know this, but for a lot of you may not. This didn't become legal until 1967. In 1967, it became fully legal across America for interracial dating. Before that, you can get beat up, you can go to jail. There's just so much stuff that can happen just for wanting to date someone of an opposite race of you. Think about this, guys. 1967. That's the year my mom was born. That wasn't that long ago. So we are definitely still progressing in this area. 50 years. This year makes 50 years that this has been legal in the United States of America. Yeah, we're still progressing, guys. But with that stat, they did a poll. Newlyweds at that point were 3% in 1967 interracial. In 2015, they did that same poll, and it was determined that 17% of newlyweds were interracial. That's not too big of a jump, but it's good enough. We progressing, guys. We getting better. In 2013, they did a stat that says 3.6 interracial couples got married. And nowadays, 58% of American Indians are in interracial couples. 28% of Asians are in interracial couples. 19% of blacks are in interracial couples. And 7% of whites are in interracial couples. 25% of black men are in interracial couples, as opposed to 12% of black women are in interracial couples. And for white people, it's both 7%. These stats show us that, interracial couples in America is steady on the rise, but we have so much room to grow, guys. We have so much room for improvement and for our minds to expand. But like I said before, there's so many various opinions of this matter, but this is Mel on Mars, so it's time for me to give my perspective. I know there's so many other stats and so many other races that this issue affects, but what I want to do is specifically draw this towards the most controversial issue, which is between black and white people. Now, first and foremost, I want to stress that I'm all for interracial dating. I'm all in. If you want to do that, if anyone is in an interracial relationship, I know plenty of people in my family. I know plenty of people that are my friends, constituents. I fully support you guys. I love it. But I have a few questions. I have a few questions for the couples, and also a few questions for anyone that's opposed to it. My first question, and this is just me with my controversial driven eyes. Why do we as black people change a lot of our dynamics once we're with someone that's white? It's as if we provide a better version of ourselves to someone that's white. Now, when I say we, I'm not saying all. So please don't give me a couple outliers. In majority of cases, when you see interracial couples, when there's a black woman with a white man, or you see a black man with a white woman, there's a couple characteristics that you see different in that couple than you may see when you see two black people together. To be honest with you guys, and I've had several debates and arguments about this, I progressed in my thinking in this because at first I actually only thought that black women changed their demeanor when it comes to being with a white person. But no, brothers. We have characteristics that change as well. Let's go over a couple of those. Now, I noticed first and foremost with my ladies, black women, I've noticed a couple characteristics. I've noticed that I don't see you wearing as much weave when you with the white guy than you do when you with the brothers. If you do wear weave, it's a straight all black. They don't get the colors. The purple, the orange, red. So yeah, they don't get all that weave. Another thing I noticed, guys, and it may just be me, but it seems like our sisters or black women talk a little bit more proper when they with a white guy. Talk a little bit more eloquent. It may just be that the white guys don't go after the girls who talk ghetto. It may be that. But I have seen some cases where when she's with her man, the white guy, she's talking proper, elegant, and sweet, soft, polite. And then she turn around and get with her family. Girl, you crazy. Girl, go right back to being the woman that we normally get. So, it may just be me, of course, but some of you guys have seen that. And one last thing, ladies. It seems like you guys are a little bit more submissive. More submissive. Now, that may be a double-sided coin as well. Maybe white guys give you a little bit more to be submissive to. I'll give you a little bit more structure, a little bit more direction. Maybe that's the case. But either way, I have noticed that there are black women that are very much more submissive to white guys. You don't believe me? Just start looking. Everything I'm saying on this list, guys, just start paying attention in your everyday life. I'm very observant everywhere I go. All I do is really watch people for potential content and videos. But start watching people and you will see it's the exact same thing I'm saying. For the fellas, like I said, it's stuff I'm noticing you guys as well. When I say you guys, I mean guys that are dating white women. Black men dating white women. I notice you smile a lot more. Why you smile so much with her? But with your sisters. Yeah, what up? What up? Yeah. Alright. Now, sisters, I gotta bring it to the fellas. Fellas, that may be a double-sided coin as well. Maybe you smile a little bit more because she is a white woman making you smile a little bit more. Maybe your mind is more at ease, more at peace. As opposed to when you with... Fellas, I noticed that you express yourself a little bit more. This past week, I was sitting in a bar, and I was sitting next to an interracial couple, and I seen a gentleman, a black gentleman, smooth, clean cut, nice looking guy with a white woman. The entire time, all I saw was him constantly expressing himself, giving himself to his wife or giving himself to his woman, whatever she was, but giving himself to her, letting her know this is how I feel. Fellas, we don't do that with our black women. Don't get me wrong, that's not just an isolated issue for black men. That's an issue for men across the board. But we do know that black men hold a lot of stuff in, especially with our black women. So that may be a double-sided coin as well. Maybe this white woman has taught him or allowed him to express himself more and was quiet as he was talking. Maybe, maybe not. Just my observation. And one last thing that I've noticed from my black men, you guys are more career-minded, goal-oriented. You go for more. That may be a double-sided coin as well. Guys, I'm just saying observations, and we all know that these are characteristics, stereotypes, so they can be various reasons why this happened. But it just seems to be the case. I've seen so many cases where black men are going for businesses with the support of a white woman's good credit score. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. With the support of their white woman behind them. I've seen this a lot. So these couple characteristics I noticed. That's my first question. Why do we present our best self to people that are outside of our race and not within our race? My next observation I have, a next question I have is, why are so many pro-blacks, people who are so strong for the black community, love black people, will die for black people, they hate white people, they do anything they can to talk bad about white people, proclaim the greatness of blackness, and they marry white people? They either marry, date, or just have flat out sex with white people. Let's name some of them, shall we? MLK, Martin Luther King. We can't talk bad about the great things he did for our community, the great things he did for America. That's why we celebrate him every January. But he had his flaws. And we know so many things he's been caught up in doing. But I just discovered something this year in 2017 that blew my mind. Do you guys know that the FBI at some point or another sent so many records and recordings of Martin Luther King having sex with not only hookers, but white hookers? Did you guys know that? I just found that out and it blew my mind. So I'm not going to spend as much time on everybody, so let me just make a list. Frederick Douglass, Harry Belafonte, Kanye West. Y'all remember when Kanye West stood right in front of America and said, George Bush doesn't like black people. What happened, Kanye? You don't like black people either. Or should I say, black women. Sidney Poitier, James Brown. I'm black and I'm proud. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. You black and I'm proud. You proud of that white woman you had too. You proud of her. And that's something that can just truly be said for so many of the quote unquote conscious community and all these black people that want to make such a big fuss about what white supremacy does. They be the first one with somebody white. And honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with jealousy. Eventually, if you hate something so much, what you hate, you recreate. So whatever we hate, we try to become it and try to obtain it. So and maybe one thing they thinking about, the best thing I can do to stick it to this white man is to be with this white woman. Oh, now don't let me forget, there's a black woman that we celebrate and elevate and hold up to so much esteem for her true blackness and everything she do to quote for the black woman. Maya Angelou not only had one husband, but two white husbands. As I said when I first started this, I am all for interracial dating. But it's awfully funny to me, the main people who talk about white supremacy and black power and how much white people affect the black community are the main ones who are in love with the white community. My next question is for those people who say this is not natural. Interracial couples are not natural. They try to compare the situation to animals. They say when animals have sex, a lot of times the animal will come out not looking like the natural animal. It may come out deformed, it may come out with different colors, or just being mixed and being altered and being ugly. That could be no more wrong. I couldn't disagree with that anymore. First of all, why are people so quick to compare humans to animals? We're not animals. God created us in his image and his likeness. So there's nothing greater than a human. If it's really a God issue, then why in the world would some of the mixed race people be regarded globally as some of the most beautiful people in the world? You don't believe me? Let's take a listen to some of these names. Halle Berry, Vin Diesel, The Rock Dwayne Johnson, Bruno Mars, Alicia Keys, Mariah Carey, Derek Jeter, and lastly, you guys' favorite, Barack Obama. What? Barack Obama not black? That's my last question. Why do we consider mixed race people to be black? The saying that's been going on for years, and you guys should hate this, as I do. That anytime somebody have a percentage of blackness inside of them, they call them black. I hate that. I hate that phrase. In majority of cases, they have just as much white inside of them as they do black inside of them. So I submit to you that we have never had a black president. Yeah, I know y'all didn't want to hear that. We have never had a black president. We've had a mixed race president. And the more I think about it, seeing Jesse Jackson, look like he waiting to ride the swing at on the playground or something. All these black people crying and so excited about having the first black president. But we haven't had the first black president. We've had a mixed race president. We've had the first president that looks like us. But we haven't had a black president. He is just as much white as he is black. Honestly, if you want to look at it, he's probably even more white than he is black based on the way he was raised. They want to talk about it all the time about how his dad, a Kenyan man, was nowhere to be found. So he was raised by his white mother, his white grandparents. You want to know the real reason y'all call him a black president? Because he got a black wife. Because I guarantee you, if this man did not marry a black woman, he would not have gotten 80% of the black women votes in this country. There would be even some black men that would not have voted for him. A lower percentage. But majority of black women would not have voted for Barack Obama if he was not married to a black woman. Even though his mama is white. How sad of a world is that? So, we have not had a black president, in my opinion. We've had a mixed race president. Anybody out there that's mixed race, be proud of both races. I know there's a lot of mixed race people who want to hang around black people who feel intimidated, feel like they have to show how black they really are. I submit to you, just be yourself. Don't worry about these people, because they don't worry about you. So anybody who's against interracial relationships, wake up. It's been 50 years. It's time for people to grow up. 50 years since this has been legal in the United States. You're behind the curve. And stop throwing your opinion on other people and force it down their throat. It's your opinion for a reason. Everybody don't have to agree with it. And if anybody don't agree with it, it don't make them less of their race. But nobody really talk about that more than black people. It may be a dinner table conversation amongst other races, but black people get on social media, social platforms, and say whatever they want to say. We got to stop doing this, guys. Because black people can never be racist, but we can say a lot of racist comments. So stop it. It's time out for it, guys. Let's show love to everybody. Let's be supportive. Let's love, guys. That's what this world should be about. Alright, guys, it's your boy Mel on Mars. Thank you so much for watching this video. As I said before, every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, there's a relationship topic. If you have a topic idea for me, shoot me an email at marsquestions@yahoo.com. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you give me a comment. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with somebody. Don't just listen to me. Don't hide me. Don't listen to me on the down low. Tell one of your friends about my page. One of your closest friends. Tell them about it. Help me grow this thing. All right? It's your boy Mel Mars. Let's grow.